Hello, beautiful humans of love. How are you? Welcome to this Akashic Readings and Healings episode. My name is Laura Mazzata. I'm an Akashic Records channel, a consciousness mentor, and a holistic therapist of 20 years. I am here today to welcome you all into this gorgeous community, which is freaking fabulous. I haven't done these in a while. Not sure about any of you, but this month has been an immense integration of energy. There has been a lot coming in. There's been a lot moving. There's been a lot of old paradigm energies leaving the field, which has left us with a lot of emotional upheaval, a lot of confusion, knowing exactly who we are and having no idea who we are all at the same time. So I already see a bunch of questions coming in. I'm going to do my best to do them in order here, but I encourage you to not drop any more questions right now, because that's just going to create more pauses for you where I have to keep scrolling back. So I would definitely prefer for you to just pause with questions until I prompt you, because I already have about 6 or 7 questions that are here. And I stay as long as my bandwidth allows. It could be an hour. It could be an hour and a half. We shall see what this Friday energy has to serve up for us. Okay. So how many of you are familiar with the Akashic Records, or, to be honest, any kind of divine energy that you're channeling in and receiving messages from? Because I don't care whether you call it the Akashic Records, whether you call it the divine, whether you call it source, right? Like we develop these names and containers for spiritual energy that definitely helps us as humans. And I definitely have a preference for working within the Akashic Records because of the way the energy feels in that space. But it's all based on our own navigation and our own presence with universal energies that allows us to identify what feels the most resonant with us. For me, I like that that the Akashic Records provide a spiritual home for me. They really tether me. So it's like, people want to learn about the Akashic Records. Great, let's do it. But it's not so much about navigating the Akashic Records as much as it is allowing yourself to set the intention and open to receiving the energy of the Akash, anchoring yourself there, being there in the Akash, and then allowing your soul to explore wherever else. Could be your higher self, could be your soul, could be source energy. But it's my favorite place to get information about your soul, to develop deeper intimacy with your soul. Because when you open up your Akashic record, it has all the information about your soul from the time it first sparked, through past lives, current life, future lives. I do not like, for any of you who are here, who have met with me before, you know that I do not like to treat this like psychic readings. That is not what I do. This is about you coming into your highest level of divinity and sovereignty in a sustainable way. Giving you Band-Aid answers to things that are just going to temporarily satisfy your ego is not what I'm on this planet to do with my mission. My mission is here as a therapist of 20 years. I have seen so many people go through cycles and cycles and phases of busting their asses to feel like themselves and to feel better and to know who they are. And I can tell you that this is why I opened up this second business from my traditional therapy business, because I see the sustainability in this work. I taste it. I witness it in my clients all day, every single day, right? We are creating an anchor of the essence of yourself within you, bringing all layers of you to the forefront. And that's what the Akash allows me to do with you and for yourself and for myself, is I anchor in that space and I can go anywhere. I can do anything. The universe is my oyster, right? It is limitless. So there we go. Okay, so all kinds of divine, good. Hello, everyone. Several channels that tap into it. Yep, okay. Some familiarity. Yeah, it's a process, right? It's a process of attuning to the frequency of the Akashic Records and developing a relationship with them. This isn't a quick fix kind of place. No, spirituality is. And if anybody tells you that, then they're in a place of not full embodiment, right? And we want to be in full embodiment because that's how we carry it through our lifetime and actually express divinity in our exchange with other human beings, right? We're not just doing this because it's fun, because it makes us feel good. We're doing this because we are here to exchange with other humans on this planet and co-regulate with each other, but also serve one another. And so I literally told my friend the other day, like, all I want to do is vibrate right now. And that's really all we're meant to be doing right now, is just fucking vibrating. Like, just take responsibility for your vibration. That is your only responsibility in this lifetime. Everything else will extend from there. Okay, beautiful. Love you guys. So appreciate you being here. I am going to take a quick sip of water before we start. Definitely make sure that you drink water. It's a great conductor of energy. It'll move it through your system much quicker. Actualize it and distribute it through the field. Okay. So, Trisha Hildebrand, you here, sister? What am I meant to receive from these physical sensations or emotions that I'm feeling so regularly? Do they have to do with my path for physical healing of my numerous health issues? Well, of course they do. One of the things I want you to do is kind of detach from having to know what you're meant to receive from them and just receive them. So I think this is one of the things we can do, is we can get into this really heady conscious space around, what does this mean? I did that a lot after I got sepsis, right? And a lot of the healing work I was doing was like trying to understand, what is my body telling me? And developing a relationship with the body that allows this back and forth, where I can understand what it's here to tell me. And I'm not saying that that's not valid. It had a very valid place with my journey of being able to really be with that energy and allow it to expand and speak to you and share its purpose for you. So there's value in that, but for longer term healing and for more, honestly, rapid integration of it, it's coming to the physical sensation or the emotion and being really present with it. Right? So you're going to have two options here. You're either going to be really, really present with this energy, and you're going to be allowing it to build, because what you're saying is, I'm inviting you in. I'm not a victim of these sensations. I am inviting you in. I am welcoming you in. In fact, I crave you. I crave you because you're a part of myself, and I want more of myself. I want to experience more of myself. I want to bring more sensation online, because the more sensation that comes online, the more embodied I become and the more aware I become of how universal energy is working through me. And so as you're here with these energies, as they build, they release, and then you're going to have clarity. You're going to have clarity every single time. Some of that clarity is going to be conscious. Some of it is going to be palpably sensational within the body, where you feel lighter, where you feel more open, where you feel freer, like you can breathe more deeply. Okay? Everything that comes forward has to do with your path for healing, right? Your numerous health issues are simply a condensation of energy that has not been fully sat with, given space for over the course of time. It's also, some of it is may not even be yours. And that's why in that you can also say, take all the energy that isn't yours, put it in a bubble, allow it to siphon down into Mother Earth. The energy that's left, your field knows what to do with. Allow that to recycle through the crown as wisdom. Allow source energy to come in and clear the channel, clear the body, clear the energy field, so that you can seal and refine this energy. The second thing is, when these things come up, the sensations or emotions, as you could become more embodied, as you become more attuned to the divine frequency, you don't have to sit with everything that comes up. First of all, you're going to exhaust the fuck out of yourself if you do that, right? Instead, it's like, dude, I get to just move through my life and feel these sensations and witness them and smile at them with a curious compassion as I continue to follow my excitement and my passion. So let me know how that feels, Trisha. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here and asking. All right. And thank you guys for holding back your questions so that we don't make this chat so explosive that I have to scroll for 6 hours to come back to your questions. And we're going to do one question per person today so that everybody that I can get to has a chance. So if I see duplicates, I'll just skip over duplicates. So Terry Hill, how can I expand my connection to my soul purpose? So one is, you want to recognize that you already are. Just by asking that question, you are, because you're setting the intention to expand your connection to your soul purpose. I also want to bring forward this concept of attachment to soul purpose. This is kind of like a buzzword in the spiritual industry where it's like, well, I want to know my purpose. And, oh, well, I'll show you my purpose if you pay me this amount of money, right? And it's like, you know what, dudes? We are living our purpose all day, every day. What if you surrender to the fact that you're never going to fully know your entire soul purpose? We're not going to know, you guys. We're going to get it in little snippets here and there, or we're going to get it in big quantum leaps. Yes, we are going to receive more and more vibrational data that serves us into our soul purpose. It is an unfolding. And this unfolding happens as we listen more to our intuition, as we spend more intimate time with ourselves, and we take steps that feel outlandish in the 3D, but that truly feel aligned with our soul, right? So when we're talking about our soul's purpose, how deeply are you allowing yourself to expand into joy, to receive joy, to choose joy, to activate your passion, to allow your excitement to draw you forward? Grounded excitement, not fleeting excitement. Grounded, deep, soul-knowing excitement, right? Because purpose is not something that you gather and you check off a list and say, now I know it. It doesn't work that way. Right? We get to get eager about the seeds that we can taste of the soul purpose as they are dropped into our field. So that our job is not to expand our connection to our soul's purpose, but to deeply nourish our physical body, our energy field, our deep connection in interconnectivity with other human beings, our intimacy with source. When we choose that and we immerse in that, our soul purpose coming online and aware in our conscious mind is automatically going to expand. We don't need to search for it. We don't need to look for it. So, all right. So just let me know how that feels, Terry. And thank you for asking the question. All right, Vanessa, I sense that pessimism has been a huge block for me. What can I do to better lean into optimism in this lifetime and future lifetimes? I need a drink of water for this one. I'm feeling it, sisters and brothers. And otherwise. Okay. Okay. Once again, if you've worked with me before, you know I don't believe in blocks. Energy is always moving. Blocks don't exist. Okay. The first thing that comes forward is choose it. Like how, I'm going to make up a word here, convictedly. I'm going to add that to my list. How convictedly are you choosing optimism? And by the way, how do you define optimism, Vanessa? Like, how do you define optimism? Optimism isn't like constantly blowing sunshine up your ass, right? And constantly, like, I think optimism is really about embracing the ups and downs, embracing the flow, embracing the natural state of humanity, which is the fact that sometimes we're going to feel like a shitstorm and sometimes we're going to feel like $1 million, right? Optimism is knowing that we can be in the contraction and always be expanding. It's like after I got really sick, right? And I was laying there and I was just like, I feel like fucking shit. I hate this. I'm so sick of it. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that I am expanding into the highest version of myself. And I might not feel it yet. I might not see it yet, but I know it's there. And I can hold that faith at the same time that I can experience the contraction of whatever's happening in the body or the emotions. The emotions are in the body, right? Optimism to, it's being blocked by the heart. Optimism to me is fully trusting, I think. Yeah, this is deep in the process. And this is coffee time chat with your soul, Vanessa. Like sit down and chill and like chat with your soul, right? Like have a back and forth a few times a week if you can, right? And just be like, allow yourself to just be all of you. I think that sometimes we look for optimism and we think we're in pessimism, whereas actually you're just becoming really, really immersed in the contraction, and you're allowing the contraction to be something you're calling pessimism. Or like, is it really pessimism? Or is it just that you're human and it fucking sucks to be in the contraction, Like it sucks to be there. And so it's like, can you hold both? That's what I'm going to invite you into. I don't want you to focus on optimism. I want you to focus on holding both. I want you to focus on the contraction, the expansion at the same time, because you're powerful and you can hold both. Right? So it's like, don't try to get rid of the pessimism. Don't try to reject it and deplete it so that you can access optimism. It's not one or the other, right? It's being able to see like, where is the optimism within the pessimism? How can I hold both? Right? So let me know how this is feeling, Vanessa. I just want to tune into this a little bit deeper to see if there's anything else. It's really choice. That's really what they want you to do. Like choose, like do not be available for anything else. This is what I am available for. That is not a vibration that I love. Like I can talk to somebody that I love very deeply and be like, I love you so fucking much. And I see exactly what this is for you. And I also know that today I desire to hold my center, right? I desire to hold me in where I am, because my vibration, again, like I said earlier, is my primary responsibility, and it is fucking precious. It is vital to me and to everybody else on this planet. And so it's being able to claim that. And that when you do, yeah, you're going to feel that those waves come in, but you can feel them and hold your center. Like somebody said to me, I don't know, last week, like you feel chaotic. You feel chaotic. And I'm like, nope. My center is really strong. I feel the chaotic energy moving around me, but I am solid. That's what I'm inviting you into here. I hear you, Vanessa. Then stop trying. Stop trying to stay high vibe. Let yourself like enfold yourself into the pessimism, into the contraction, and just fucking cry, rage, whatever. And then you're like, whew, okay. Okay. Like I did that last week with the eclipse and this freaking conference that I went to. I'm going to record another live on that. Right. And I just fucking cried for days. I was just like, I'm just going to be with this, because when we try our tools over and over and over again, we exhaust the hell out of ourselves, and trying energy is forcing energy. And that's not what allows us to get into flow with the universal divine energy. Right. If I'm trying so hard, I'm exhausting myself. Instead, when that happens, it means that it just wants to be seen. It just wants to be here and fold it into you. Okay. I should have filled my water more before this. I can just feel that this is not going to be enough. Okay. Nazia, am I aligned to my soul's purpose? Of course you are. We all are aligned to our soul's purpose. Every single one of us, every step you take is aligned to your soul's purpose. The question is not, are you aligned to it? The question is, how deeply are you opening yourself to immerse in the intimacy of source energy and allow it to continue to build and expand your capacity to hold love and to feel love and to receive love? The more that you allow that, the more your purpose will expand. Hi, Darlene. I love you. What's up, Jessica? De Novo Fertility. What does spirit need me to know right now? How fucking awesome you are and beautiful. All right, that's the Laura response. Let me tune into spirit. All right, let me see. Breathe with me, guys. Send Jessica some love. Your radiance. That's what they're bringing forward. Like spirit wants you to feel into your radiance, your glow. They want you to like be with this word glow. Like, what does it feel like for you to glow? What does it look like when you take action to glow? What does it mean to you to know that you glow? That's what's coming forward for you right now. All right. All right, Rachna, I apologize, Rach N-A, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but how can I transcend the emotional pain I feel when my mother in her 70s criticizes me? Whew, yeah, I feel you, sister. I can feel the density of that. Hits me right in the heart space. Okay. This is all about like reparenting and inner child work for yourself and being with it. So, how would you support a little nugget who's feeling emotional pain when they feel criticized? I see you. I see you. This is what I want you to say to yourself. Like, I see you. I get it. I get you. Like, I get how this feels. I love you. I've got you. And I know that you've got you. Right. This is being able to say that to yourself and being able to say that, like, these things that are coming forward from her have nothing to do with you. Right. You're taking them personally and you don't have to allow that into your field. You can be like, okay, like, I appreciate your truth. I appreciate your truth. It happens to be in dissonance with my own, but I deeply appreciate your truth. You're welcome to believe and say and feel however you want. And I get to own that for myself. So this is inviting you into a higher level of responsibility for holding your truth, knowing your truth, more deeply becoming intimately connected to your truth, right? Anchoring within you, that safety, that protection within yourself, and no longer looking at her as your mother, but looking at her as just another human. She's just another soul. That role as your mother is simply defined here on this planet, but not in the spiritual world, right? She physiologically gave birth to you. Who do you desire to be your parent? Source, Mother Earth, yourself, your heart, even your inner child. Our inner childs parent us a lot of the time because they carry codes from this lifetime, from previous lifetimes, from ancestry. There's so much wisdom in the inner child. So you can be present with the inner child, but it's not transcending the emotional pain by saying, okay, I'm doing this to get rid of it because we don't want to reject any parts of ourselves that are coming forward. But being with it and allowing it to be a gateway and an access point into a deeper understanding and knowing of our own truth and where we stand with it, and being able to educate ourselves and other people as to where that is and how that's anchored. Okay. All righty. I'm blowing through these so far. I'm very proud of myself. Okay. What's up, Valerie? Hey, Arnold84. Hey, Belorma. What does my higher self want me to know right now? Just going to send you a little Reiki. Open. That's what your higher self is saying. Open. Oh, getting chills. Open your crown and open your spine, because they're sending in like this really cooling energy actually down your spine. They're bringing it in through the crown. Your higher self kind of wants to drop into the body and then just kind of extend out and fully embody you. So you're seeing through the eyes of the divinity and of divine, your divinity, because you this is the thing. They want you to realize that there's no need for protection. There's no need for protection for any of us, right? Like there's no need for protection. That when you open, it's safe to, right? Like allow yourself to open and allow this to come in and vibrate as your higher self. As you do that, you're going to recognize that there's this very clear filter, this very clear lens that you're seeing the world and your life experience through, that is very discerning. And that's what they want to bring in for you, is this discernment. So as you open and you allow this in and to express through you, your discernment is going to come online. And it's going to massively deepen your self-trust. Massively deepen your self-trust. And it's going to bring you this calming, centered presence and perspective at a little bit more of a detached view. So let me know how that feels. Okay. Sonkela, hi. I want to ask about my relationship with my mother, how to heal it. Your relationship with your mother is exactly as it's meant to be right now. So there's clearly some lessons that you're meant to be extracting from this relationship with your mother. It's building you. First thing they're saying, very similar to my previous answer, was being your own mother, releasing your mother's responsibility to provide you with any kind of maternal anything, and however you define that. Like that you do not require her or this relationship in order for you to feel stable and whole and centered and complete. They want you to enjoy her rather than to require her and to almost grip onto her and have any level of expectation or like intentional reception from her. Know that you're going to receive from her as you take away the burden of having to receive from her, of needing to receive from her. Let her be her own person. Like, I want her and you want her to live her life at the highest level of sovereignty and joy. And so do you. And at whatever level that includes you will come online as you separate from having to grip onto that being a requirement. So that's what's coming up around that. Valerie Costin, what do I need to know? You got to ground into the body. They're calling into like, they're really bringing attention to your root space and like grounding your foundation. I'm just doing some energy work on your root chakra right now. I'm just expanding your foundation. It feels like there's some flitting around. Like you have your center, but then there are these energies that are like popping up like this. And sometimes you're like, whoa, 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 right? Like you're seeing this stuff, but it also at the same time it starts to build in the field and it starts to become a little bit distracting for you. And so what they're saying is it's like witness these energies as they pop up. Know that as you continue to anchor into your center and like hold your root space and allow your root space to expand to hold you, you're going to know and have that clear discernment as to which energies you're meant to kind of like grab and hold and bring together, placing into your heart space, becoming an integrated part of your field, or whether that energy is passing through. So that's what's coming up for you, Valerie. Nicole Severson, I've heard several channels that tap into it. Okay, that wasn't a question. Thank you for saying I rock, Ninka. I love you. You rock too. Okay, Miss Lonnie, 86, or Lanny. Lanny. What am I missing in the consideration of which job to pursue at this time? So this is like an either or kind of thing. Which one feels like if you have two forks in the road, it feels more opening and expansive to you, even if it's scary? Don't get confused about direction. Both of these are in your field as energies to kind of like catalyze something within you, to bring awareness and precision to your most aligned desires, like what's most aligned with your truth. That's what's coming up, because it's like you never have to worry about an either or, like, oh, am I gonna pick this or pick that? And for you, simplify it. I think you're getting in your head too much. Listen to the body. What feels like it opens and relaxes the body and brings you to a space of like this like anchored calm and like a breath of fresh air. Whichever one feels more charged in that way is the direction you're meant to go. You're welcome, Valerie. Okay. See, I told you guys, the scrolling takes some space. Okay, Nicole Lacey, what does spirit want me to know? Mostly about potential change and or money. Spirit doesn't want you to know shit about money. I'll tell you that right now. Like detach from money and money will arrive. Like, you know, we rip onto that so much. Like that has become such a freaking fixation for so much of us, for so many of us. And I get it. I definitely get it. I've been there so many times myself. But let me tune into this deeper piece around potential change. Change is always occurring. You're being invited into depth is what they're saying. Like they don't want you to look outside of you for anything else that you need to do, even if it's a spiritual practice. Think about what is the one thing you do in your life? It could be a spiritual practice or not, but what is the one thing in your life that brings you the greatest amount of joy, play, and like deep satisfaction? Deep satisfaction. Because that's what they're asking you to bring in more immersively with more depth. It's never that we're doing anything wrong or that we're off in some way. It's that we're being asked to surrender more. So what if you instead use this and literally cued spirit and said, I welcome you to guide me in whatever direction I'm meant to shift. And then intentionally tune in each day to allow that to guide you and move you. I hear you, Nicole. I hear you. I don't care about money. My landlord does. Yeah, I got you. I got you. All right. Okay. Andrea, I've experienced anxiety, panic attacks for years. What can I do to process what may be causing this? I find it difficult to connect with everything and everyone most of the time. I actually have a private client right now that I'm working with through this a lot with. So it's, I have a tapping playlist here on YouTube, so you can access that. There's some on like when you're in a panic attack and coming down from panic. So tapping can be just supportive as a modality to be helpful to the human, because it processes at all layers. But this is much deeper than that. And this is a fine dance. Okay. This is a fine dance between honoring your nervous system and exploring your edges. Okay. Because, the difficulty with connecting is the fear, right? That's like the fear of expanding because you don't feel like you have the capacity to hold it and you feel like you're going to fall apart. What I want you to know is that you do have the capacity. And even if you do fall apart, that is your capacity expanding. So the meaning of your anxiety and panic is shifting. So it's no longer anxiety and panic. What it is nervous system expansion into the next level of clarity and who you are. Okay. So we don't want to look at causality necessarily. We want to meet the anxiety and panic in a safe way so you can allow yourself to be held as you explore the edges of this anxiety and panic and witness the resilience and the capacity of your nervous system to be able to hold more energy. Okay. Anxiety and panic at this level definitely indicates a higher purpose, definitely one that you're really shaking and twitching with the realities of this society, of this reality here in the 3D world that is not a match to your energy necessarily. If you haven't looked up your human design, it's very complicated, but I do encourage you to do that. You go to jovianarchive.com and type in your birth time, your birth date, and your birth location. When you learn how your unique energy operates, then you're not trying to fit yourself into a box or expectations of how you're supposed to operate, right? Because it's okay that you have anxiety and panic attacks, right? Welcome to a lot of the world. There's a lot of people who have that. I've had anxiety my whole life. And it's being able to know that there's nothing wrong with that. And it's actually an invitation into connection with yourself and bringing more of your wholeness online. I know that when anxiety comes up, it's my body cueing me to say, hey, pay attention to your inner child. Pay attention to yourself. Give yourself some compassion. You haven't been present enough with us lately. You've been distracted, right? And so that's a big piece of it. But honestly, with that level of anxiety and panic, having a human hold you, whether it's a coach, a therapist, a mentor, a loved one that's in your life, a friend, having them kind of hold you and just be present with you as you expand your edges, either vibrationally, where you're in practices that we continue to expand the edges of your field as you hit that point. And then you're like, okay, take a deep breath. We're going to go just further, right? Allowing somebody to hold you as you expand in that, not just energetically, but also in the mind, also in the nervous system itself and the physical body, right? And action and connection is a very supportive practice, because you don't want to bypass the human by just focusing on the energetics and the spiritual piece of it. It's about knowing that this is a higher calling and allowing your nervous system to very slowly, at your own pace, expand into the acceptance and the appreciation of that calling. Okay. All right. And thank you for being here, Andrea, and asking a vulnerable question. I appreciate you. Tantra 1, working on remembering, seems to come forward when I take action. However, realizing my soul family and opening that communication seems to elude me. So the question is, how can I improve that process? So you remember more when you take action. So take more action. Have you invited them to communicate with you in dream time? Because that's what they're bringing forward right now. Because that allows you to completely freaking remove your mind. You're not focused on like getting anything out of this, or like, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this approach. Let's see if it works, or searching, right? Like the mind is completely not involved. You get to set an intention and like open the Akashic records or whatever modality you like choose to connect with your soul family, choose to connect with your guides that can connect you to your soul family or just your higher self, and then allow them to drop in what is meant for you in that moment. The other thing coming forward is to expand your channeling. So I actually have a digital program called Expanding Your Channeling Abilities that you can access. And it teaches you how to channel for yourself and for other people. And I think being able to, the purpose of this is not for you to become like a fantastic channel. The purpose of this is because I want you to experience the sensation that comes online with different types of channeling. Okay. And I want you to be able to refine that, because the reason I'm saying that is because the next step they want you to take after feeling into the sensation of different types of channeling and allowing yourself to like witness your own energy as it connects with this is channeling light language and bringing through light language from your soul family. Like they don't want to communicate with you in any way that makes sense to you. They want to communicate with you through light language. And this could be written light language and it could be spoken. What I keep feeling is that it's going to come through written for you first. So it's also being able to write, and it could be any symbols or any signs or whatever, right? So you can check out that channeling course. But I also think that light language is really where they're drawing you. And that is, again, a relationship, a process, something to start getting comfortable with, for sure. But they want to bring it in through sensation first, because that's going to be really the anchor and the opening point for the light language to come in with more clarity. And again, when we're communicating with our soul family, we don't always get things that are concrete. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Okay. So what we want to know is that when we're communicating with soul family, we are receiving it through sensation first and foremost. Thank God, because again, it grounds it and anchors it into the body and allows it to be sustainable. So let me know how that feels. Oh, also planetary work. I don't know if you like astral travel to different planets, but they're particularly choosing Jupiter for you. So that could be something that you could set an intention around, just kind of dropped in. Okay. All right, Jessica, message guidance regarding my health issues at the moment. Okay. Don't claim them as your health issues. They are not yours. They do not belong to you. They are the energy of source that are showing up in the body. And I've been there, so I get it. And I see you in this, and I'm holding you in this. Relax into them is what they're saying. Like, have you rested in your health stuff? Like deep appreciation of it, where you're just like, I deeply appreciate your presence here. Like, allow them to be. Allow them space to be. I feel like there's a fight or there's like a resistance. I mean, of course there is. It feels crappy, right? Like, it feels crappy for sure. Have you fallen in love with your health issues yet? Have you fallen in love with them? That's a process. I came into acceptance and then appreciation and then falling in love with my health stuff. Because, you know, their energetic intensity, that's what health issues are. And their energetic intensity, like I said earlier, that has been compounded and or that has been brought in as a very potent activation, directive activation from the universe. When we get closer and closer to the universal frequency, we feel more of the universal energy. Universal energy is incredibly strong. Think about it. It's the strongest energy that we can imagine. Think of black holes, right? Like they suck things into them and obliterate them into light particles, right? Like this is the energy and the intensity of the universe. When that shows up in the body, you can imagine what that feels like, right? And so it's allowing the activation and creating space for it to distribute throughout your field and allowing any of that energy that is not for you to hold to drain out the root. Because some of this energy is not yours to carry. So let me know how that feels. Tantra 1, you don't have to know what it is. Thank you for responding. Yes, I love this. I'm going to promise you, I'm going to put this promise out there. You're going to know. You're going to know within the next 3 months. That's what's coming forward. Conviction. Claim that, receive that from me with like my deepest level of sincerity and know that you're going to know. You're going to have something tangible on this within the next 3 months. Be convicted in it. All right. So Jessica, let me know how that feels, honey. You're welcome. Working on that. Yeah. Dude, I did the same fucking energetic practice for 3 freaking years. 3 years, Jessica, with my body after I had sepsis. It depends. Like everybody's timeline is different. It depends on how deeply rooted it is. It depends on how awake we are to like some of these patterns that are coming up. And sometimes we're meant to be and sometimes we're not. But it's like, as long as like the fact that you're even here and asking this question, you're leagues beyond the vast majority of people on this planet. So I just want you to celebrate the hell out of yourself for even being open to like seeing that this is a gateway into your highest sovereignty and freedom and wellness and remembrance that we are wholly well. Okay. Nicole Severson, did I answer one for you already? No, that was Nicole Lacey. I just wanted to make sure that I was being responsible to my word earlier when I said I was going to answer one per person. I'm going to stay in integrity. Okay, Nicole Severson, the past few months, I've been feeling my hands tingle. I believe it's energy flowing. What do I do with it? Ooh, fun, play. Play with it. Play. Like play with that energy ball in your hands, like mold it into something. Send it to somebody, give it to yourself, like give yourself self Reiki. I don't give a shit if you've been attuned in Reiki. It doesn't matter. It's all universal energy. Like if you're feeling the activation in your hands, use it, right? Use it. So I would give yourself Reiki. I would play with like different warmth, cooling sensations. I would like try to give energy to like an animal or a plant, or like go out into nature and just like hold up your hands and like let them move. Like just let them move. And one of my favorite things to do with feeling this is qigong. So play with qigong. Qigong is like, it's intuitive movement. It's very casual, very relaxed, different from Tai Chi, which is really a more structured martial art, whereas qigong is really more focused on like one intention. So it's like just set your intention and then literally start moving the body with the breath and allowing it to move. And you're going to feel this energy in the hands moving through the body. And it can awaken in other areas of the body too, but like intentionally pull it from the hands through the body and allow it to find its channel and to create a new pathway that's going to open up new awareness for you. So fun. That is so fun. Yes. Thank you, Nicole. See, I figured it out. Aren't you proud of me? I answered your question. Okay. All right, Cassandra, is full-time mediumship in store? And what will my secret sauce look like and feel like as a brand? The first thing they said was, you already know. Love it when they say that. They call us out boldly. Full-time mediumship is already in place. That's what they're saying. Energetically and spiritually, full-time mediumship is already in place. So this is not something that you have to question, that you only need to allow the human and the 3D presentation of this to come into form around. What will my secret sauce look and feel like as a brand? Well, what does it feel like in your body when you do this work? What does it offer you? What does it enliven within you? How does it make you come alive? What feels alive in you as you do this work? That's your brand. That's your look. It's your own intimate, palpable, tangible experience of what you do that then just becomes expressed through your brand and through your work. So this is about you deepening your immersion in your own secret sauce, right? What does it feel like to do that for a client and then bathe in the energy of what you've just channeled, generated, alchemized, and allow yourself to receive the codes that you're meant to receive from that space? That's what that feels like to me. So let me know how that feels and any other questions you have. Linda Ferg, how can I expand and improve my connection to higher realms? Okay, so the first thing coming forward was just be. All of you. What are the parts of you that you're hiding from? I feel shame in your field. It's just moving. I feel like fragments of shame that are coming up to be seen and revealed, not with the interest in sitting in it or spending too much time with it, but literally just witnessing it and just being like, see ya, as it comes up into your field to release. So just allowing the extraction of that shame to be seen so that you can more courageously open The current expansion and connection to higher realms for you is to channel Mother Gaia, channel Mother Earth energy. Allow her to come into you and open your heart. They want you to feel this really grounded opening. And what's beautiful is that this, as your heart opens in this energy, which it's literally doing as we speak, I'm just kind of guiding this for you. And you bring Mother Earth into the body, that crown is automatically going to bloom. And when that crown blooms, it's going to, it's like a signal, it's like a bat signal. It's like a bat signal. Like when that crown blooms, it's going to be like alerting and calling in higher dimensional energies to naturally be attracted and come into your field. So that's what that feels like to me, Linda. Okay. Jennifer Island, hello, gorgeous friend. What does Spirit need me to know as I lean into opening up to the life of my wildest dreams, including financial freedom? Okay, the first thing they're saying is you're already leaning into this. You're already leaning into your wildest dreams. Play with them. Let them expand. Let your imagination run wild. There's fear in opening up your life. There, I feel a contraction there. Can you guys hear all the stomping, by the way? They're redoing my roof. Oh, there's a lot of noise on this end, so I appreciate your patience if you can hear it. Okay, Jennifer, I'm going to just tune into this more deeply because I'm feeling this contraction. It's the not good enough contraction, Jennifer. It's like the worthiness wound. Yeah, this is rawness is what they're saying. Like I'm feeling a lot of raw energy here. There's space and room for you to be more raw, not just with source, but with yourself and with the people who are closest to you. Like this is a combination of raw you and play. And it feels like play is an area where you hold back a little bit, where all of you is not fully on the table. And they want all of you to be on the table because it's that cohesiveness and that vibration that is really going to literally just automatically magnetize this financial freedom and opening up this life of your wildest dreams. Like you have the key, right? You have the key for this. And it is like what they're showing me. This is literally the image that they were showing me when I was talking about open wound, right? It was like open wound that's really raw and allowing source energy to kind of flow back and forth over top of it repeatedly. And at first it's going to feel really sensitive and almost like almost like activating, right? But as it continues to flow, it's like this seal happens, right? There's like a sealing. And there's also this, just this further opening where this wound continues to open. It's not sealing shut, it's sealing open. So it's like this wound is open and it's just kind of like sealing, and then it's just continuing to expand as it's like, yes, I am exposing all of myself and allowing it to be sealed in as the current vibration of me, the current presentation of me, knowing that this has now become this like really sacred palette to serve from. I like that. That was kind of a cool image. Okay. I probably have room in my field for like 2 more questions. Arnold 84. How could I heal the relationship between my brother and I? Does your brother desire to heal the relationship? I feel like his permission is really needed here. I feel like there's some hesitation in his willingness or openness. Do you believe in him? You don't know if he cares, but I feel a wound. Yeah. I feel one too, but I feel it more in you. Yeah, I definitely feel it in you. And I think that what I feel here is like, it feels like you need to take more responsibility for yourself and for your vibration and for your happiness and your joy. And it feels like you need to deepen belief in him. Not just the space between you, but like deepen your faith in him and his potential and his expansion. And like you get to have this deep faith. Like, I can't wait to watch you soar. That's the kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Like, really this encouraging, deeply invested. Like, I am deeply invested in your expansion, brother. If that includes me, great. If it doesn't, great. But I am deeply supportive and energetically invested in you soaring. And I have faith in that, right? Because I think they're saying they want his path to not have anything to do with you, right? And then as that sovereignty is available and his freedom is available in that way, he's going to start coming around more. So it's releasing attachment to having to have that look like something now, or this like consistent progression of your relationship, or even this kind of progression with your relationship. Instead, it's like the relationship is there. That is its own energetic entity. Allow that energy to be there and give him sovereignty to do his thing. You take more responsibility for your joy, for your happiness, for your solidity. And then that space between you is going to morph and change, and it's actually going to happen with ease. So let me know how that feels. Ghost of me. I want to connect to my guides. What do my guides have to say? How to connect with them? So this is a really important question that a lot of people ask in my programs too. I'm actually going to be teaching on this in Akashic Immersion shortly for next week. Your guides come to you. We don't boss guides around people. So when we want to connect with them, it's just about setting an intention of, like, you can call in Mother Mary and she'll probably show up, right? But if she doesn't, that's okay. You might get Archangel Raphael. You might get a loved one who's passed on, right? But for you, it's about developing a relationship with a guide that you feel most tangibly connected to. So this could be a loved one who's passed on. This could be Jesus Christ. It could be a deity that you've connected with over the history of your life, even when you were a child, right? And literally just start chatting with them. You can start a journal where you write back and forth to this being. And don't get into your head around, is this me channeling them or is this them? Like, just start the process, because it's your intention that matters most. And allow them to show to you. Like what I do, that when I say, like, yes, you can set the intention or you can just show up and let them show up. Like, I show up, I open my journal, I take a deep breath. I always put one hand on my belly, one hand on my heart. It's like my thing. And I just call in the higher dimensions. I call in my higher self, source energy, whatever you desire. And then I literally just put my pen to paper, and I will either ask, like, what am I meant to receive right now? What am I meant to integrate? What am I meant to see at this moment in time? And I just allow them to answer. Or how can I be of service? And then listen to your body and allow it to guide you. Yeah, you're welcome, Arnold. Thank you so much for being here. All right, I'm going to do one more. Lovely. Hi, sweets. Many blessings, dear. Thank you. Blessings back. What are gifts from past lives that I can use to be of service? don't make me go on a big tangent here, but this is another thing where we allow past life energy to show up when it's meant to, instead of going in and being extractive from our past lives, because that's really the ego going in to extract past life energy, rather than feeling into what past life energy is just meant to come forward as we connect and allow ourselves to immerse in source and become closer to source. Like that needs to be our intention, is like, I just want to be closer to source and allow myself to be of service. If that happens to have information from past lives that's fueling that, great, awesome, okay, whatever. If not, that's fine too, right? But I desire to be a conduit of this energy, regardless of what it looks like and is labeled as. After that aside, I'm going to tune into this now. Thank you for humoring me and listening to my soapbox. Okay. Compassion is the biggest thing that's coming up right now. I'm just seeing you as this like this mother figure, this maternal figure in a community. And you're kind of like bringing everyone hot soup when they're sick, and you're like making tea over a fire, and you just really love being maternal to other people. I'm feeling a lot of maternal energy. And so that's really what they're bringing forward, is just this like really unconditional compassion. I mean, somebody could be having like the biggest tantrum and cursing you out, and you're going to be like, here's some soup, honey. Like that's what I'm feeling from your energy, because it's so natural. It's so natural. And it's like, you're not delineating between one person and another on this planet. Like everyone is your child. That's what I'm feeling for you. Okay. Yeah, I'll answer one more. Why not? You guys are getting me going. All right. So, inspiration for life. Is my mission here related to healing animals? I just finished my water. I told you I didn't have enough. See? All right. I have to read this again. Okay. Yes, of course it is. Of course it is here for you to receive healing, to offer to animals. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. And this is the other thing they're saying, is allow this healing that you're going to be doing for animals to be a gateway. Okay? This is simply it's really like a portal for you. And what are portals? Really just an opening of an entirely new vortex of energy. And so what they're saying is that, yes, it's related to healing animals, but that's literally just going to be like your gateway point. So it's an exercise in trust and self-trust to say, like, you're getting this hit. The fact that you're even asking this question means you already know this answer. It already feels good to you. So just do it. Like, don't delay doing it because you're not sure. Just do it. Recognize that as you start it, that's opening a vortex of energy that's going to like suck you in. It's going to take you into so much more possibility, accessing so many more layers of the infinite that you did not realize were accessible to you, and gifts in your field. Okay. All righty, beautiful few humans. I think I feel complete. Let me just see here. I'm just going to read through the comments really quickly to make sure that I close up any open loops. Cool. Oh, Ninka says, I have a question about the draining out of the root. And this was on the heels of like completing a loop of coming up earlier. I find that hard. How do I drain the excess so it remains somewhat gentle? So there's a few different ways to drain out the root, and you don't have to drain out the root. You can also drain out the bottom of the feet where it just feels like this. You know how like if we absorb energy from the earth into the feet, like we're just standing there and it's like this very, very slow absorption, like a sponge, like you put down a sponge in water and it very, very slowly moves up the sponge, right? It's kind of like that. So you can do that almost like a moving of the energy from the feet down into the earth very, very slowly that way. What I really like to do to release out the root is I open a tap. So it's like I have a tap at my root and I turn the handle, the lever, so that it starts to drain. And you can control the flow of that depending on how much you open that lever. And then when it's complete, you can, even if it feels like it's going too fast, you can kind of close it more. And then you can also choose its temperature. Like I like to choose warm so that it's just like a softer, gentler release. And so that's another way to release out the root. But I mean, I could literally talk about that for an hour because there's so many different ways that you can release out the root. And all of you that are here, thank you so much for being here. And yes, Tantra One, there's a recording. And you will not necessarily see the comments coming up, even though I always click to save it. Sometimes, or every single time, they don't seem to save. But the recording will be on my YouTube channel, so you can refer back to it anytime you want. Absolutely. Use these, please, because they're full of divine wisdom. And thank you for being here. And thank you for anyone who submitted a question, even if it didn't get answered. I appreciate you being part of this community and just receiving the love from other people as well. And just allowing yourself to be and to shift your vibration and to expand. All right. I love you guys so much. And right now I am just inviting people to work with me one-on-one. I have a lot of digital programs that are available on my website at all different price points, from dissolving the ego to really doing an intensive in Akashic Qigong, to Reiki certifications and trainings, to trauma-informed care certifications, to Akashic Records work, like you name it. There's a lot of digital courses on my website that you can access. And with any of those, you can add on Voxer support, one-on-ones. One-on-ones are my favorite. I love meeting with people and deep diving and really customizing this energy to your field, to where you are in your life right now, to your path going forward. So thank you again for being here. Seriously, this is like my favorite community to connect with. And I will be back. So keep your eyes peeled on my channel. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that as I post when I'm going live next, you will get notified and you can get ready in the wings with your question. And the quicker you jump on here at the beginning, the more likely your question is to get answered. And I also have Akashic card readings on my website. So if you guys have a question that you didn't get answered and you want it to get answered by me, you can just grab an Akashic card reading and I'll get it to you within 7 days. Okay. Mwah. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend and I will see you very soon. Bye.